Hello. I'm going to be itching my neck constantly because the black flies got me. I don't know if you can see it or not. My skin feels like all the flies are still landing on me. Give me a holla if you know what I mean. Okay, so today this is what happened. We got up to hike. I got up, set my alarms for 1 a.m. and 1:08 a.m. because I always give myself 2 alarms, you know. Got up, did the thing, met Christina. I'm grumpy. We're gonna do haystack, basin, and saddleback. I'm grumpy, but then we get to the top and it's really great. And the weather was awesome, which we have not had a good hike in like a couple months. Like it's been rainy or just super hard and long and not really that enjoyable. But this was great. There's scary parts though. Anyway, so I get home. And this morning when I left, Chris was still here with his dogs and my dog, and you know, the window unit air conditioner was on in my bedroom with the door closed. And then all the other windows in the house are open. Not all of them, but like a lot. To get some circulation in here. I do not have central air conditioning. So what's homeboy gets up and he leaves for the day and he feeds the dog, he does all the things that need to happen for Michael, which is like super helpful. And he goes about his day. I return home about 12 hours later. Michael has been taken care of by the dog sitter. And the door to my bedroom is open with the air conditioning on. And so now I've just been conditioning the air of the universe for no reason. And I was alone when I discovered this. And the initial reaction is I wanted to be mad. Well, it's not like you did it on purpose. So I can't be mad. I'm not allowed to be mad. This is where resentment is coming up for me in multiple areas of my life. I feel like I am so busy bossing myself around and telling myself to feel a different way because I have to be better all the time. Better than who I was, better than who I actually am. Like I have to fucking behave myself, and I hate it. Oh, I really hate it. Like I really fucking hate it. Anyway, behave myself. Can't be mad. Because, you know, like, some people would just, like, flip out and be mad and yell. But that's not cool, man. I don't want that to happen to me, so I'm not going to do that. I don't have resentment about that. That is just a necessary practice in order to interact with other humans, you know? You can't be a dick. I realize I say that a lot on this porch, is that I am a dick, or other people are dicks. Like, I don't want to be a dick about it. And I never realized, you know? Anyhow. So I'm not allowed to be mad, so I'm sad, and I'm covered in dirt. I'm telling you, I look like Pigpen. And I get in the shower and I'm just crying in the shower about the air conditioner. This is what seems like from the outside an irrational response. And one could just say, oh, she's crazy, and like leave it there. Or, this is what I find, I don't think fun is the right word. What I find, let's call it entertaining, is finding what's underneath the root of everything that everyone is doing all the time. All the time. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? We don't fucking do nothing for no reason. We might say there's no reason. We may not be aware of the reason, but there's a fucking reason. And it's not in that kind of way like, oh, everything happens for a reason, because that's fucking bullshit. Bullshit. Anyhow, let's bring it back. Okay, so, yes, air conditioner was on, and I was like, so I just texted him and I told him, and he was like, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, huh, he just has central air conditioning. Why would he think about that? Either the AC is on and the windows are closed, but at his house he controls all the things, so he knows where everything goes. I'm like, well, I could have told you, and I didn't tell you. I'm telling you the details of this story, not because it's what the details are not what matters. We've gone through this before. I'm just pulling you into my seat so you can see what I'm seeing. So instead of keeping the being right, because like obviously I'm right, but it's not like there's an argument here, you know, it was just a mistake. So I take responsibility for, yeah, I didn't tell you, hey, when you leave, could you this. I obviously don't care about it as much as I care about Michael, because they say so many things about Michael. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, okay, and I got over that really quick. And then I remembered, and this is what I've been keeping you here for. Hold on, for how long? Jesus, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I remembered a story from my youth. So, when I was young, just young, let's say 14, 15, I was sneaking out of the house, like, all the time. There was a bedroom downstairs, and that was mine, and then there's a back door just outside, and I would just go out the door. And then my mother figured that out, and so she made me move into a bedroom upstairs. But I still wanted to sneak out. So I built myself a ladder. And I was not ever taught to use tools or anything, so I made a rope ladder, but it was out of a sheet. And what I did was, it wasn't just like, I didn't just tie the sheet because I thought, I'm not going to be able to climb down that. I'm not some person who climbs. I could probably do it now, but regardless. I like formed it into a U shape, and then I gave it like 3 rungs, and I tied that all together, and then I took duct tape and I wrapped it around the whole thing, and then I got a really big chain. I don't know why, or like where that came from, and a like padlock. So I padlocked the chain to the loop to the bottom of my bed, and then put all that out the window. I wanted to test this, but this bedroom that was upstairs was facing the road, and we lived in a development, and people would definitely see me throwing this thing out the window if it was during the day when my mom wasn't home. So I never got the chance to test it, and then it was just time to sneak out. So I was like, oh fuck. So I remember a Saturday Night Live skit was on. So it must have been Saturday night, it must have been late. That was back before, you know, the Netflix. When I was a kid, there was no such thing as Netflix. Those were not the good old days. This is better. So that was on, and I threw a big pillow down on the ground, just in case, which was really silly because I don't think that was really going to help me. And I got down to the last rung, and so it was only 3 rungs, and I still had like a really large drop, and I knew if I jump out of here, there is absolutely no way I'm going to get back up. I knew I was fucking stuck, and I needed help. So I jumped down, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get in trouble. So am I gonna do it right now? Or am I gonna go sneak out and do the thing that I was gonna do, which was fucking magic mushrooms, and then come back? So that's what I did. And I don't know what you know about mushrooms, but you can hallucinate on them, depending on, you know, how much and what kind and things like that. This is something I only did a couple of times when I was like 14 and 15, and that's it. I'm way too much of a control freak now. Not control freak, that's not, I don't, you know. Mushrooms can make you hallucinate. And I was like, I do not have any brilliant ideas. I need to get inside, and I just want to go to bed, because it was like 5 in the morning. 4:30. No, that sounds better. Not better, more accurate. So I was like, well, what am I gonna do? I walked to the front door, and I rang the doorbell. My stepdad was frequently sleeping on the couch because he used to snore really bad, because he took an aerosol cap, like off like a, you know, hairspray or cleaner, or just the aerosol little white thing, stuck it up his nose, and then he would plug this and go, and do that. Well, one time he sucked in when he was supposed to blow out, and it got stuck up his nose. in his nasal cavity. But his parents didn't know, and he was too afraid to tell them for like 2 weeks. He tells his parents, everything's all infected and inflamed. He gets the thing taken out. Why am I telling this? Anyway, it caused him scar tissue, which made him snore. Years later, he got surgery to remove the scar tissue, and it did not help. Anyway, so he was sleeping on the couch. I ring the doorbell, a light goes on, and I see Eddie's head pop out. And he comes downstairs and he looks at me, what are you doing? And my mom comes out of the bedroom. She's looking. And she's like, what are you doing out there? And I was like, and she said, did you sneak out? I said, yes. She said, how? I said, through the window. And she goes, did you leave the window open? Because one of the times I got caught sneaking out when I lived downstairs and there was a back door, I was too afraid to close the door all the way because I thought it would make a lot of noise. So I would just leave it open, just all the way open so it wouldn't creak. And I did that in the winter time, and the electric bill was very, very high. So coming home and having that happen, that's way better than what I did to my mom, because at least nobody was doing things on purpose. So anyway, that's how that all came together. What I actually wanted to talk about today is successful relationships. I have a hard time saying that, like I have a lisp or something. Successful relationships. Okay. I think oftentimes when a relationship ends, be it a partnership, friendship, family ship, work relationship, if they ever end by choice, like one person's choice, basically meaning if you stop being in a relationship and the other person's still alive, we see that as unsuccessful, like a failed marriage, a failed friendship, or a failure. A lot of times we think of it as a failure, when really that's kind of an unreasonable assumption. Think of, like, go back to elementary school, middle school, high school, however old you are. Do you have anybody from elementary school in your life? Middle school? High school? College? Whether you do or you don't, there's so many that you don't, that were your friends or your acquaintances. So those relationships ended, not whether it was intentional or unintentional. And you did something for each other, whether you were like a background, extra in a movie set, just somebody, a body who was in their life, or you impacted them in some way. You bullied them. You saved them from being bullied. You befriended them. You, sent some toilet paper underneath the fucking stall because there wasn't any in your stall and somebody was next to you. I have no idea why that came to mind, but sort of kindness is appreciated. Yeah, and then even take it to, so like, in a romantic relationship, a lot of times, like, especially a divorce, we see it as a failed marriage, because it's not the plan. In America, I don't know if it's America or not. Let's just call it here. Typically here. Humans, when they get married, it is with the intention of doing it indefinitely. Unless you're doing it because you are just trying to get something, I guess. I don't know. You want their money or something. And so if it ends, it's like you failed, like you should have known or should have seen it coming or shoulda. When really, that's really not the case. I think that a successful relationship is people who were together in some capacity, who showed love and kindness and compassion to each other, who walked a path for a period of time, whether that was every day or intermittently or even in the background. We got to share a little vein. Oh, that's good. Like a leaf. I'm thinking of the kind of leaves, I think my mom used to call them money trees, but it's like a skinny stem and then it kind of looks like a fan. Those have a lot of veins. So like all the little tiny veins, but then some of the ones in the middle are really big. Those are like the very impactful relationships that we have, and then these other little ones. And just because the vein stops and you don't, doesn't mean that it's an unsuccessful vein. You are who you are because of your circumstances, your upbringing, and because of those around you. You are the sum total of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And it really is becoming evident to me. I'm starting to I just noticed that the other day, like when you are around someone and you know what they like and you want to relate to them, then you talk more about that thing, whatever it is. Maybe you learned something because of them, whether it was about like their job or like a music thing or a book thing or whatever. They introduced you to something that you didn't have, or you had it but really they are more into it. And we start to change our languaging and our topics of conversation geared more towards relation, if that's what we want. If we want to be like related and, understand each other. If you're like actually in it, That's interesting. I can feel myself when I'm not in it, when it's like an acquaintance sort of thing, especially if like, I don't know, for example, this is what would happen. During quarantine, I would be at Aaron's house all the time, and we'd be in the hot tub, and then like someone else would come over. Why am I talking about this? Oh, and so if that new person was just an acquaintance, like, do I have to behave in a certain way, or can I just be how I am, which is all I ever want. That's all I ever want. I keep talking about that, so it's really bothering me. Feeling like I'm not allowed. I'm a fucking white woman. Come on. Let's move forward. Successful relationships are any type of partnership that was a contribution to one another for some period of time. And that period of time does not have to be forever, because the number of things that last forever is 0. Nothing lasts forever. Not even you. Not even this.